When it comes to the second conditional, the second and the third conditional are called unreal or imaginary conditionals. Why? Because they talk about situations that may not be possible. Right? What is the structure of the second conditional? You have, where is it? There you go. If, simple past or past simple, and a present conditional. You can use where, right? Not a problem. If you use verb be, you have to use where. If you use any other verb, it's just a simple past form. I'm gonna show you with the examples here. And here, when we talk about present conditional, it's just the conditional. You could have would, may, might, should, conditionals, and the verb in the basic form. Bare form means the basic form. Let me show it to you. Oh, first, when do we use it? Imaginary situations in the present or future. Now, be careful. Just because it has a simple past form here, it doesn't mean it's about past. This is still about present or future. 0 is for something that it's almost 100% of possibility that will happen. The first one, first conditional, it's for like possibility like 70%. This one, it's about possibility, but the possibility of this happening could be like 10%, right? So it's a lot less. That's why you call it imaginary situations. Examples. If I won $1 million, I would buy a new car. Check the first one. Simple past, right? You get simple past right here, and would. Here you can have I may buy, I could buy, I should buy. Not a problem, right? And the verb is in the basic form. Remember, with modal verbs, we do not conjugate this or write to. That's not possible, right? So if you have any verb, any normal verb, let's call it that way, we just change it into simple past, right? Take this example. If I were you, I would quit smoking. If you have verb be, again, just simple past, right? But in this specific case, we are going to use where for every single person, grammatical person. If you have, I can have here, let me do this one. If she, if he, if it. Whenever we have the third person here, we are going to use where. This only happens with conditionals. It doesn't happen in any other structure in English, right? If I were you, I would quit smoking. If he were here, he would whatever, right? So again, for the third person in conditional, second conditional, we are going to use where for all of them. If I were, if you were, if she were, if he were, if it were, if we were, if they were. For all of them, where. This is grammatically correct, but you may listen to people using if I was. That is very informal and it's mostly for speaking. The correct way to use it is using where. Careful. They would stay longer if they had more time. So what we're doing here again is just changing the order. Check, you place the second sentence at the beginning and the if goes at the end. No comma. It applies for all conditionals as we mentioned before, right? If I won $1 million, I could stop working, and if I had more free time, I could travel around the world. And that's how the second conditional works, right? So just remember, because number one, just because it's in simple past, it doesn't mean it's in past. It's actually talking about something imaginary in present or future, right? Good. Number two, you are going to use where for every single grammatical person, right? I, you, he, she, all of them where. And if you hear people using was, it's because that's very informal. And that's pretty much how the second conditional works.